happens?
The Brian clip. What was that?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I love it when
Whoa.
we just play that one. That's it. Show's over, and then we're out. That's a good way to end.
For all of you that you don't know, we're live.
What?
It's time for a little Funky Friday. From their funky hidden headquarters, your hosts, Keith and Gerry. Not Gerry.
So, yeah, I'm talking to Tom right now. He's distracting me from my own show. He's always...
Yeah, you know what, guys? I got 11 hours of work behind me, so if I would fuck up like that, that's okay. But you be fucking professionals and play the intro before talking. Jesus.
No, I do that every once in a while. I'll start the show, not tell you about it. And then, let us talk for a minute, say some stuff. I'm hoping for comic gold or something really stupid to be said.
You're hoping for us to get banned.
You have me on. Stupid things are going to be said.
Your stream, if we're still going, I wrap at noon Central Standard Time. So, yes, that sounds good. I love Tom so much. Him and Andre just really, they're just awesome. I was on this morning with our good friend Snow, and I've never gotten to hang out with him much. The first time I met him, I told him the story. I said, I got thrown into the deep end of the pool one day on, you were on another person's show, and I just happened to be a guest on there. And you hopped in there, Floral hopped in there, and it was around the same time I met Fat Steven Seagal too. And all you guys freaked me the fuck out. Like puppets talking. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then Fat Steve, when I met him, he had the animated avatar. And he'd be like hopping around talking. It's this little cartoon character. And I've got ADD. And somebody asked me a question. I said, I'm sorry, I'm beyond the ability to speak logically right now because I can't stop staring at Fat Steven Seagal.
Dude, I don't have ADD, but it would distract me too.
I'm like, what kind of fucking crazy world am I in that I've got an animated avatar or puppets with me? This is crazy. And he just, Snow laughed. But hanging out with him today, we talked before the show, we talked after the show, and we really bonded. It was really cool. I mean, we have so much in common. And I posted on Twitter that moment between Will Ferrell and Riley when they're in Step Brothers. He said, did we just become best friends? It cracked me up. So anyway, I guess I'm going to be on Monday on Midnight's Edge. After I finish military Monday at noon, I'm going to go straight over to Midnight's Edge and hang out with them over there. Zax is here. Zax. Yeah. I talked about Zax this morning too.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, fuck you, Kyle.
And just to let you know, Kyle, I did my first 2 shorts today for yesterday for our show. I did 2 actual shorts. And in less than one evening, over 1,500 views on one, or 1,400 views, and around 500 for the other. And now one's almost at 1,000, and the other one's over 1,500 views on the 2 videos of They'll Die. So I still feel like I was venturing into some sort of strange voodoo world because Anima saw I was getting frustrated because
it took ever to
a
get them to
millisecond.
register shorts.
It was a microsecond, kept causing one video to go over a minute, even though I'm sitting there going on my screen. I'm looking at it. It's not a full minute. And I'm like, what is going on?
It's a pain in the ass. It's a fucking
So I
pain
trimmed
in
it
the ass.
just enough to where it kept going on. So I'm going to keep trying to do that. I'm asking all of our hosts to please make note of times so I don't have to sit down and watch an entire show to find stuff. Because I don't have enough time for that. I'm busy doing a comic book right now. Penny, I saw you this morning. I saw you. God, I see Penny everywhere. Whenever I go on somebody else's show, Penny is in the chat. I love that. I like, there's a comfort.
Yes.
There's a comfort seeing people like Dadman Walking was there this morning. But when I'm on another show, I like seeing familiarity. And it gives me comfort for some weird reason to see friends in the chat. I like that. I weirded out a couple of times on other shows when I look up and I see somebody I don't like. And I won't address them. And it's funny why I don't like them. It's not because they did anything to me. It's because they did something to somebody else that I care about. And but then I thought, wow, one of them even followed me on Twitter. And I'm just like, I'm going to stop having a problem with people who had a problem with somebody else that I'm friends with. I need to stop having that thing because I'm extremely loyal to my friends. And it's weird that I'm like that. I need to stop being so loyal when it comes to stuff like this. I need to worry about other things.
Yeah,
Gerry,
sooner or later, two people that you love are going to have a fight. So what are you going to then?
What would you know about that?
Ouch.
Gerry, you need to have a public face and a private face. Like my private face is I run drugs, but no one else knows about it.
Nobody else knows. Are you
So
a mule?
you see, you just don't
I've
tell
always
people
considered
in
you a bit
public
of a
that you run drugs
jackass.
and you're fine.
No, the thing is, Gary's a dick and he doesn't have a filter, so.
Yeah. It was fun. It was ADD theater this morning with Snow. He's got a little bit of it too. So we were like spark and we'd hit another thing and it would spark and hit another thing. It was fun. I liked hanging out with him.
Replay.
We plan on doing it again. We had so much fun today, just talking. Gary's public face is
well, he's not wrong.
and Kyle, I deeply appreciate it, man. I think that oh my God, finding something interesting that somebody said, like, I don't even want to go into it. I get so stressed over this stuff. That's what makes a bond closer. Fight and make up. Yeah, I've been in relationships. I know something about that.
And knowing Lady V a little bit by now, she thinks about make-up sex right now.
Yeah. By the way, D-Bud Martin, thanks for saying Feliz Navidad to Martin. But Martin is from Venezuela and they don't celebrate Christmas there. Nothing.
Dick.
Nothing. They're south of the equator, so they don't celebrate.
It's not worth responding to that. I'm sorry.
Oh, Martin, you're leaving the show permanently. Oh, I'll miss you, man, but I understand.
So, but now the one thing I find interesting is in South America, one country speaks Spanish and the other one speaks Portuguese.
And there's another that speak French.
Oh shit! Which one does that? Is that in Argentina?
No, it's not Argentina. In
Argentina speaks German.
They speak German. German. Ethel Merman. They speak Ethel Merman.
So there's French Venezuela is what you're saying?
Oh, French Guiana.
No. Yeah.
French Guiana. That's right.
I don't want to touch that issue here.
You don't want Christmas cookies?
No, French Guiana.
Oh, French Guiana. Okay. Penny says my grandson gave me an early gift. Went to CVS Minute Clinic after Loki's show with a sore throat, thinking I'd have strep throat, but found out, oh, you got the flu. I got to tell you, I'd rather have strep.
Yeah. Get well
I'd rather have
soon,
strep.
Penny.
And Lady B, in this precise moment, my mother-in-law is baking cookies. So you were on point.
Mother-in-law.
So your mother's cookies are really good.
You like your mom's cookies? Your
What the
mother-in-law's cookies?
fuck, man? You're a sick bastard.
You like to put your mother-in-law's cookies in your mouth?
Jesus Christ.
Tell Mildred
See?
not to watch this episode.
Oh my god.
I don't want her mad at me.
I hope Mildred does not see this stream.
I hope not either, because she'll be mad at me.
This is why people watch Pop Culture Minefield, for the mature commentary.
Oh, yeah.
They watch for the fucked up shit I'm likely going to say during the show. That was mildly racist, Gerry, but somehow you're not canceled again.
Yeah, we need that picture back. The racist picture.
Oh my god. Yeah, with
We
Keith.
still
Yeah.
have use
I'll
for it.
I'll
Yeah,
find
that
it.
one.
I'll find it. But gonna be a crazy week. We had the Christmas party last night, and I guess I can show the video. That was pretty funny. I caught the tail end of it because that was something spontaneously that happened.
Yeah,
during,
I need to know context for that one. I want to know the background.
it's just I'll give it to you after I play it. So present share screen.
Present.
Yes, I know. Stupid fucking StreamYard and they're presenting. Here you go. This is from game night last night. Here we go. I'm gonna play it now. Ready?
Let's kill Gerry! Let's kill Gerry! Let's kill.
What? Let's kill you?
Because okay, we play
What
this
do you
game.
do?
I don't like board games much anymore. I mean, modern ones. I like classic ones like Sorry. Occasionally, if we got to play the fast version. Monopoly. I cannot stand the. We're going to be playing for 2 or 3 hours.
I fucking hate Monopoly.
I do not like playing Stratego anymore. I used to play shit like that when I was a kid. I like things that we can get done in half an hour and be done with it. And so they played some games. And the one game that I thoroughly enjoyed in that group, because these are friends of mine that I hang out with on Thursdays for game night. And we played this one called Secret Himmler.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's called Secret
What?
Himmler, but with a T. And it's a crazy game where
You think?
one of you is the devil and another
Oh, that
person
one.
is a co-conspirator. And
That one. Yeah, you told me.
the other team, the other part of the team has to figure out who's who before they get killed. And basically, what I said this is the thing.
Yeah.
It's the
It is.
thing. And I'm like, we need to adapt this into being a thing, the thing game. But we stopped playing that. We only played that like twice. And then they introduced me to this other great game. Because I will not play, I'm done. I will never play Dungeons and Dragons. I will drink and watch you play. I do not want to play. I get so bored with that game. But they said, let's try this one. It's called Blood on the Clock Tower. And I'm like, okay, sounds kind of weird. We played the first night. I was hooked with this game. Because you're trying to figure out who's the devil and who his minions are in the game. And last night was the biggest game we played, 14 people. We had 14 people at that table last night. And it was nuts. And it was also the longest game we ever played. It was over 1 hour and 45 minutes trying to figure out who it was. And it was not who we thought it was. I took guesses because I thought for sure like it was Chance, my buddy Chance. And it's like, no, it wasn't him. It was great. I love that game. But they said at one point, Chance says, we need to kill Gerry. What do you guys say? Let's kill Gerry. And that's what happened. Because you have to pick somebody to execute. And I got picked. And so I died moments later.
That sounds like
We have
It's
rage.
definitely a backdoor murder game, especially at night, because if you piss off the demon when the sun comes up, because the game master sleep and everybody goes to sleep, and then the sun has risen, and then he goes into, and out in the courtyard, Gerry was found. He was, how was I killed? He had been tickled to death.
Oh, that's a nice death for you.
And like one person was murdered with maggots. There's some gruesome deaths that people pick. And it was fun. I got to tell you, in the end, the person you least expected was the devil in the game. All of us were what?
Like in real life.
Yeah.
So
it was fun.
Let me play Lady B her video.
Hold on. Do we have the new video?
Louise will protect us with her amazing archery skills.
Yeah, but we really don't know how to kill them yet. Maybe they love being shot by arrows. Maybe it's like a deep tissue massage for them.
Oh no, isn't there a back door? Should we barricade that?
It's sealed and locked.
That's the new one.
Isn't that basically Werewolf? That's like the original like trader type game.
Hey, Snortapupus in the house.
Hey, Snortapupus.
Gerry, did you upload the new backdoor video, the Christmassy one?
What?
From Scrooged.
Oh, I didn't. No, I didn't do it. I didn't have enough time.
Oh, we need that for Christmas shows. We have a Christmas.
I can do it now. I can do it now. I can do it while we're talking.
We have a backdoor video from Scrooge. Nice.
Yeah. I made him stop the movie and clip it because we need a Christmas backdoor. We stream on fucking Christmas Day. We need a Christmas backdoor. I'm sorry. It's a law.
Yeah, Blood on the Clock Tower is only $150.
That's if you buy the game. But the fact is, every bit of it is available free online. You just print your own stuff.
Yeah,
it sounds fun.
It absolutely is. I am not usually interested in playing games like that, but I enjoy playing that game for some reason because it's the whole logic thing, trying to figure out who is who. I had guessed last night that Chance was the devil because Chance has a tendency of over-explaining things when he's secretly hiding something. Because, I lived with Chance for a while, Chance, John, and Travis, and I really got to understand the way his brain works. So I read that last night as him being the devil. He was not the devil, and I killed him. Which is why he wanted to kill me back and started the chant. Hey, it's Kingsport Cal. Can't wait for the Christmas stuff to be over.
Oh, sorry.
It's cutting into my work time. People want to actually be with their families. Yeah, roger that, brother. Roger that. I love the Christmas season, but what I love about it is getting to see, like, I'm upset because I'm not going to be able to see Zoe until Tuesday. That's when we're going to celebrate our Christmas. And it's just not the same. It's like somebody going, hey, we'll celebrate your birthday next week when everybody's off. And I'm like, I don't care enough. I don't even care about my birthday enough to begin with. And then you want me to do it a whole week later? No, just pass. We'll try again next year if I live long enough.
It's also sad that last year we said, yeah, maybe next year we can celebrate Christmas together. And this year it's just the same shit all over again because we're both broke and at work.
Well, you look how much you've gone through this year, honey, though. I mean, you're in Vienna right now. I mean, we didn't think that was going to happen. And it happened. And you'll be here. Yeah. I look forward to it. I'm not going to stress about it. It's just, it will happen. I'm in love with you, and I will wait for you to the ends of the earth. So, there you go. Don't think I don't talk shit about you, though, when you're not around.
Yeah, he never says cute stuff like that when we're in private. He just does it on the show.
I'm not that kind of person.
I know.
I'm not. It's really weird. I will say things like, I love you and things like that, but I'm just really weird about saying things like that. But, I'm more matter of fact. I get to the point. In fact, I wrote Ethan Van Sciver a letter today because I've known Ethan for a few years. I think we met in 2015 and got along with him. I really like the guy. And so I wrote him today and I read the letter to Pat, Pat S. Shrimp Lightning. And he goes, I like the way you do that. You do your quick greeting. Hope you're well. Hey, look, I'm just going to cut to the chase. And I tell him why I'm writing him. I said, yeah, people don't want to have a long letter and people hemming and hawing. I can't stand people like that. When it's like, get to the fucking point. Why did you want to talk to me? And emotionally distant Gerry. Like that one. I am mildly aloof. Even Animal will tell you I'm very emotionally distant at times because I'm very guarded with my feelings. And
yeah, but the thing that was so magical between the two of us was we never had our guards up with each other. It was so weird.
When you haven't slept, my guard goes up when you haven't slept because I'm like, you get so weird. You're like a drunk when you don't sleep. You're like, I
push myself way past I want to go to bed.
Hey.
Fuck you.
Hey.
I stream better when I've had a few.
When we were getting to know each other, that's what I mean.
No,
we were just getting to know each other.
Hold on, honey. I want to recognize what Shinatsky just did. He did Zoidberg.
Okay.
Oh, no. Deeper reference, same creative team. There was an episode of the Critic where they did DT, the Drunken Terrestrial. And he's doing the whole thing, where they fly over the moon. But instead it's like, E.T., I don't know if we should be doing this. And he goes, I fly better when I've had a few. And of course they go flying and then they immediately fall down and crash.
I love Zoidberg. My daughter did this cute thing, Zoe. She would scuttle. She'd look at me and go, well, I better go, Dad. And she'd drop into a horse stance and her claws up in the air. And she'd scuttle out of the room sideways going, it would just crack me up whenever she would do that. My daughter's so awesome. Hey, Steven's here. What's up, buddy?
I just finished Rebel Moon.
Yeah, you sound about the way I would if I'd watched it.
I thought I was watching what was left over of slow-mo from Batman versus Superman. That's like, what? There's promise. But,
So it did not put the fun in.
Bush in the house.
It is not Star Wars. It's like Dune and
Seven
Battlefield Earth had a baby with a little bit of Inglourious Bastards thrown in, like the costume design, especially. Like, why are you wearing suits when everyone else is wearing armor? I can't comprehend. I can't comprehend this. Sorry. Hi, Mary. Yeah, whatever.
So you're not looking forward to part 2, I take it.
It was like watching Inglourious Bastards take on A New Hope. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Look, it never looked interesting to me. Nothing. I didn't like the title.
Well, it was like, look at the commander.
Clearly a reference to the Death Star.
Well, kind of, but it's more like the moon they're on is the start of the rebellion. It's the moon of Rebel. I get that, but it's just, I gotta watch it again to understand it. I don't know.
Oh my God! Look what Bush is saying here.
What's Rebel Moon? Is that a guy in a Confederate flag shirt showing people his ass? That sounds about right.
No, that's the guy that bends over in front of the window when he's sitting down, not realizing his ass crack is hanging out at McDonald's.
Rebel Moon actually sounds like the name of a Confederate werewolf movie.
Rebel Moon is a young girl that shapeshifts and has a magical moment where she's spinning. Oh wait, no, that's Sailor Moon.
But there were there were some lines in that film, like we chose the right side of history, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, just so.
And then Insurrectionist,
overly didactic shit.
Yeah.
Look, I knew it was going to be a problem when they showed that fight scene, and she, her little spaghetti arms blocks 2 grown men's arms.
Well,
muscular men's arms.
They explained it why she is.
I told you she has the Schwartz.
No, she's actually been trained under one of their emperors or some stuff.
She can train as
I don't
much as she wants to.
know. I know,
She
but
physically
again,
can't block that.
in a
one.
galaxy
Nobody
far, far away, it makes sense somewhere. I don't know.
It all
I'm
makes
not
sense
crapping
if
on
you
it.
don't think.
If you enjoyed it, you enjoyed it. I'm not crapping. I'm just like I'm still trying to digest it, and it's just.
It makes sense when you don't think about it.
Martin, you've known me for how long? I think about everything. Hi guys, Merry Christmas again. We're a little fun.
Nah, Merry Christmas.
Harry
Zack
fish
Snyder.
nuts. Harry fish nuts. So, but anyway, was there anything good about it that you enjoyed?
No, that's what it is. It's Star Wars mixed with Dune, mixed with Inglourious Bastards, and freaking Warhammer. That's what it is. The
That
Imperium.
sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, but okay, but not the cool parts.
So the worst parts of each of those put together.
It's like this. They took the characters out of different ones and tried to use the scenes in sci-fi. Like instead of being on a desert Tatooine planet, we're on a farm planet with a chick plowing the fields. It's everything, but it's not what it's intended to be. I don't know what it was intended to be, so I can't answer this question. It's not bad.
So in essence, it did what Zack Snyder always does: is he takes the core of the text, writes things out, but he doesn't understand the text, so he writes out is derivative crap.
Yeah, there's only one other director that doesn't fundamentally understand the basic concept of irony, and that's no, Spielberg. And Ridley Scott too doesn't understand it. It really, that's what you have to, if you want to be an actual really good storyteller, you have to understand irony, and specifically dramatic irony is the one I'm referring to, because there are many forms of irony, specifically dramatic irony, which is a situation like a joke. A joke is a great representation of irony, that you get this story told a specific way in a specific order that leads to an expectation of something happening, but then you get the opposite, and that's irony. It's the opposite of what you expect happens. And idiots refer to that as what is that they said about Star Wars? The Force was something expectations.
Subverting expectations.
Yeah, diverting. It's like you're saying irony without saying irony. There's a word for what you just said, a single word, irony. You're being ironic. But the reason why what they said is stupid is it's beyond irony, because you at least have to fall into a certain area. It still has to make sense for irony to work. Sort of like, I tell this joke every once in a while, and some people don't understand it. Okay, the joke goes like this. How many surrealist artists does it take to change a light bulb? And the answer is the goldfish.
Yeah.
See, you get it, Martin. A lot of people don't get that, and they're like, "What?"
No, I get it. I just didn't want it.
It doesn't matter. I'm doing representation. Fuck you, John. I'm.
We've had enough representation.
I know that's funny. It's not meant to be funny, even though it was funny that he laughed. The whole point is, John, is that I'm trying to explain irony. Are you catching up with me?
Like,
I can't tell it, freeze.
Okay, you have this one from Bush. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a commie, but thank you.
Oh, did that happen in the movie?
No, he said it would be.
Yes, there you go. So a fundamental understanding irony is required for being a good storyteller. And directors, whether they're good at it or bad at it, are supposed to be good at understanding irony. Spielberg is terrible at irony. The only film of his that he was involved in creating, I'm not talking about Raiders and all that, where it's his stuff, where he really did it, was a film I don't think he even understood that he did it, was the movie Jaws. You have a sheriff that's terrified of water. That's the sheriff on an island. That's one of the greatest moments. A guy who spent his life killing sharks is eaten by his prey.
But he did create some other irony, Gary. Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, but that's the unpleasant kind of irony.
Yeah,
Ridley Scott's another one that does it. It's like he makes a film called Black Hawk Down, subtitle No Man Left Behind, and the movie ends with him leaving someone behind. doesn't. I'm like, really? You don't understand how bad, ironically, that is, that you call the movie subtitled Leave No Man Behind, and then you, at the end of the movie, you left a man behind.
See, yeah,
75 pounds.
Going into it, this is why, for instance, Last Jedi doesn't work for a lot of people, because there's no understanding of it subvert things for the sake of subverting them instead of having a logical conclusion, which is why people always bring up Luke, for example, because it makes no sense for Luke we saw here to end up there, even with what you added in, because of things people know, which is that he tried to redeem Vader, who is the equivalent of Mr. Nutsi, Ultra Nutsi, who killed God knows how many people, tried to save that person. So then that person going on trying to kill their nephew makes no sense to anyone because of character consistency. He could have ended up on the island, had a thing where he was miserable, wanted to die, etc. But you could have, if it had been written intelligently, there would have actually been a good reason.
Like Ben, a good reason. I like that you said that. Ben, a good reason.
Yeah.
But
that's the irony.
I like that he did come out and kind of like slammed Kathleen Kennedy and Star Wars this last week. I was surprised and pleased with that. Adam Driver.
Well, it's open season.
The NDAs ran out. They usually last 5 years? So it's been about 5 years.
So on SNL, he said, Ben killing Han Solo. Don't blame me. Blame woke Disney, quote unquote.
Wasn't there an article that came up too? I think I saw Nerdrotic quote it with no shit, because it literally said Disney might be regretting going down woke culture.
Yeah, no shit.
No.
Hey, have we had any more breaches? Have we had any more breaches? Martin,
no,
I'm talking.
No.
Okay. Like Robert Meyer Burnett said, always place your characters and stories before your universe and agenda. Yeah, it's basic writing. I went to school to learn to be a writer. Okay, and so I write. I've been writing professionally for 30 years, and I paid attention to what I was taught. And it's like you got to. It's so easy. Like my writing professor said, it's like it takes no skill or effort to create characters that nobody cares about. So when you see these movies with loathsome characters, what's supposed to hold you? And one of the things that holds us as a species is that we identify or care about a character. So it takes effort to create a character that the audience can either identify with, connect with, or care about. And one of the prime examples my professor talked about was The Big Lebowski. He says the only reason that movie is loved the way it is because of the casting. If you had removed those actors and there are unknowns in those parts, it would have been panned, because there's not one single character in that film that actually has a redeeming quality that you should care about. And I'm like, well, I don't agree with you, because I like The Big Lebowski, but I do get what you're talking about. My favorite part of the second to last SNL episode of 2023, that amazing performance by Olivia Rodrigo. I love her music. I didn't see it. What does she do? I don't know who that is. Nobody can help me? Nobody. Okay. Thanks, guys.
What
Oh my God, they're coming for me, guys.
And with other ironies in storytelling, some of the best people for writing, ironically, are Matt Stone and Trey Parker. Like there's a video
Dude,
you can watch. Of
they
them.
are so ahead of the fucking game. It's amazing how clever and intelligent they are.
Yeah,
and
they go into their but and therefore, and you never want to use and, because everything should have build off of what happened before. Either something therefore happens, or but something gets in
and
the way
then
of what they
it's
were
the same
going
thing
to
in
do.
comedy. It's the same thing in improvisational comedy. Don't go therefore, you go and then. And because I used to do improv, and it was a lot of fun. And you would do that thing and just keep it going. It's fun.
Hey, boss.
Yeah,
we have
man.
a new viewer.
Mariella Newworth. Hi, Mariella. Lately, the new woke protagonists act more like villains. Yeah. No, thank you. I'll watch stuff made in the 80s and 90s. Look, I love classic film. I really do. And I can tell you that there's some wonderful movies out there. But when it came to modern filmmaking, some of the best stuff we saw was between 1979 and 1989. And when it came to horror, monster movies in particular, vampire films, oh my God, the vampire films of the 80s are some of the best. But welcome to the show, Mariella. It's nice meeting you.
The problem is that they want to. It seems like they sympathize more with the villains.
Allegedly. Allegedly. I love that. Monkey Jiva says she is from Snowdub, so you must have watched Snow and Me this morning. I'm serious. By the end of that show, we became best friends. I fucking love Snowdub. I'm like, I had no idea we had so much in common, because we've been aware of each other for a while, years, and we've never gotten to hang out. And that was the first time we hung out before the show. We hung out after the show, and of course, obviously during the show. Don Ranger's here. What's up, man? I love classic and modern things equally, to be honest. Even classic and modern radio. ID Jingles?
Yes, I guess.
Sorry.
I'm not sure what the ID means on that. So, War Monkey's here. I saw you this morning, buddy.
I think he meant IE.
Oh, IE. Roger that. Okay, now I get it.
How long do you think Zack Snyder hires Kang for the next Rebel Moon install?
I don't know what to think of that situation, because look, everything I read about it seemed like they were both guilty parties.
Yep, but he looks terrible in it, so they're not going to have anything to do with them.
Yeah, he's done his career. Look, if he had a career before this happened, he could come back from it. He was nobody. Never heard of him before he played Kang. So his career fizzled, and it's sad, tragic that happens to people. But karma's a motherfucker.
Oh,
my drill sergeant taught me that.
ID Jingles. Okay, I get it. My bad.
Yeah, I like. Oh, now I get it. Station identification jingles. I used to like some of those. NBC. Let's see. So, any more breaches yet? Because I've got a video waiting to go.
Just do your video.
Anytime.
Well,
I'm starting.
It's not a breach per se, but it's this.
Gary always has one finger at that hole ready.
Yep.
Usually
this one from Monkey Jibas.
I will give a shout out though. Once Human is like I've been playing this for
with an infected cervix.
Monkey, because you're a dirty pervert, and God bless you for it.
That's good. I like it. Because I've got a brand new backdoor video for somebody. If they breach it and it's worth it, you can't just say backdoor. No lazy shit. They were trying to make him a thing. Like the dude from Avatar. No, absolutely caught that. It's one thing, like you get Tony Curtis, okay? Tony Curtis is somebody that was discovered, okay? That's something else where he's got that thing that just, he's going to be a star, And
look,
there was nothing about Jonathan Majors that screamed at me, this guy's going to be a major movie star. No, they were trying to make him a movie star, and it just it blew up in their faces. Do you know how
Bush has
Santa
this one.
He's setting it up.
if you don't have a chimney? No, I don't, Bush. How does he do it?
Just to the window.
I like Snort's approach up through the toilet.
There you go.
Brings me
All
right
right, Bush.
back to that X-Files episode that terrified me as a teenager.
And this is so fitting, by the way, to that breach. Are you ready? Here we go.
It's Lee Majors, the $6 million man.
Is there a back way out of this place?
There you go. Back way.
The best Christmas movie never made.
It kind of did, because you can see that in that stupid film that came out last Christmas with the guy that played Hellboy last.
I hate that movie.
Well, it was nothing more than a copycat of other stuff. They didn't even bother to try to be original with it. I was very disappointed with it. But they've done it before because Mel Gibson was more original with his.
That is a good movie.
Yes, it was. I love that movie.
Man,
I will be watching it this year. It is now a Christmas tradition for me to watch Fat Man with Mel Gibson. But,
by the way, most original creator, in my opinion, S. Craig Zoller, if you haven't seen his stuff.
I know the name, but I'm not aware of anything right now.
Drag Across Concrete.
Oh, yes, that's why I know him. Yep. I love everything he's done so far. Drag Across Concrete, something in Cell Block 13 or whatever it was. That was really good.
Brawl in Cell Block 13.
That was it.
And Bone Tomahawk with Kurt
Bone
Russell.
Tomahawk is one of my favorite horror westerns ever made. And there have been other horror westerns. That's the best one, number one. I'm sorry, honey. Penny, I did not like that movie at all. That's the one we were just talking about. That was basically Die Hard. That's all they did is they just did Die Hard, but at Christmas
but badly.
I had problems with the way they wrote the Santa character. There were so many things they could have done with it. And I'm like, they didn't do the right thing. They needed a real writer on that film, and I think it would have worked. But you see this a lot today because I was just talking last night, or was it this morning, about the movie The Retirement Plan with Nicolas Cage. The trailer looked interesting. I watched the film, and all I could think the whole time going, man, this film really needed a rewrite. One more rewrite, and it would have worked. They had stuff that just didn't go. It fell flat in the storytelling. And there were things to really like in that film, but it just didn't work. They should just make God of War with Batista.
No,
I don't agree with him.
No.
Now,
yes, Bush, I agree with you. Fat Man is the superior Christmas Santa violence movie.
Do you remember
right now, Steven? What is that?
He's playing.
No, what
is
is
it?
it?
Remember? I don't know.
Well, I'm asking Steven, Jesus Christ.
If you think this is Fortnite, you need to get back on that vagina avatar and recheck yourself.
What is it?
This is called Once Human. Picture X-Files, SCP, Ghibli, Korean horror, Chinese horror, X-Files, Eureka, everything rolled into one. Siren Head, all this stuff, and it's in this world. I'm just showing it.
You know what I heard when you said that? Imagine all the things you don't give a shit about being rolled up into one.
Holy shit. We just got gifted 10 memberships.
Thank you, LDG.
LDG, that was very kind of you, man. Very kind of you. That is really nice. So it's got combat in it. Oh, I like that weapon. That's an old Russian machine gun. Not a submachine gun, machine gun. Thank you for gift. Yes, absolutely, D-Bud. And by the way, I was really pleased with that too, because Snow and I talked about it this morning. The close relationship we have with our audience, the chat. I like interacting with them. I feel comfort in talking directly with the chat.
Well, we have the
don't get me wrong. I know every once in a while we get into some subjects where we don't do that, but I got to tell you, when I get to do it, I really love it. There are few very talented writers in Hollywood anymore. One of the few, and I know Script Doctor and I don't agree on this, but I think when he's doing his work, his due diligence, that Taylor Sheridan is one of the best screenwriters in Hollywood when he's doing his due diligence. But there are things that he takes credit for that you find out later he was actually like a producer on and not the guy writing it. And I'll sit there and go, that explains a lot. I'll give you a good example. I just watched Bass Reeves. Okay. Watched the entire season. The series ended it on episode 5. There are 8 episodes. It ended at episode 5. After that, it diverted so much from history that it just became annoying. And I couldn't stand what they did.
Look what they did with Lioness. It fucking sucked. And he was involved with it.
Same thing. Just, oh my God. And it looks so interesting. And then I watched it and I'm like,
such a great cast.
Terrible.
And it's just bad.
You know, you need to have somebody that knows what they're talking about with military stuff if you're going to write military stuff. If she was a Marine in real life, she'd have been booted out. Absolutely, should have been recycled. Recycled is an actual military term. You get one more chance, and if you don't make it the second time, you're the fuck out. You don't get to be a soldier. Robert Kirkman, I really don't know what to think of Kirkman because I like Kirkman, but at the same time, I'm not impressed with his writing. Kirkman and Dave Filoni seem to have gone to the same school of writing. And Kirkman, Filoni works when he's writing stuff that's kind of meant for kids to watch. When he starts writing stuff that's for grown-ups, he still writes it like it's for kids. And that's just stupid. And I don't think it's a choice. I think that's just how he writes.
I will give Kirkman the edge, though, because at least he made up his own stuff.
Well, that's just it. Where I give Kirkman credit is he is original in how he goes about things. He's like George Lucas, a really good story idea guy, but he should turn his stuff over to other writers that are writers. Kind of like Game of Thrones ended on season 6. Yeah, exactly.
Look who's in the chat. Look who's in the chat.
Uh-oh.
Who is that?
I don't know. Maybe
I don't know that person. Is that somebody I know? I just messed with you, Keith. Good to see you, buddy. He's driving. That's why he's not here today. I've never seen anybody go on more vacations than Keith.
Well, he has his family all over the place.
I haven't had a vacation in 20 years. That guy goes like 3 or 4 times a year. I'm like, God damn. But as I put it, Mel is the camp director in that relationship. And they go where she wants to go. And she's got some great destinations, man. When they went to Hawaii, I was hoping that they and Phil Russell, you know, the guy from Smallville and Doom Patrol, were going to get to hang out, but they didn't get to. They were on the same island. They never got a chance to hang out because I would have loved to have seen that on video. Because I've actually gotten to hang out with Phil. I got to hang out with him at the Smallville convention in Kansas.
Cool.
But let's see. If Backdoor, there you're not even trying, Jeeves.
No.
I'm not giving you a video on that one. If Backdoor Gerry worked with Kirkman,
you could do
to
better.
try to trick you into handing over your creator rights. Yeah, I would not do that. I've had that thrown at me a few times, and I probably could have had a more successful career, but I would have had to have given up rights to things, and I won't do that. Like, the IDW paid for the rights to use Code Word Geronimo from me. That book is mine. So, and I own the rights.
What also did frustrate me with Kirkman, I almost said Kurtzman, was it that thing where it was like, oh, fans, you could own a part of this property. And then you look into it and it's like, it was basically people buying up a very small minor percent of the company at his listed value and basically having no control of anything, having no actual say. It's like, you own 10% of this, which means you basically own nothing.
Yeah, that was horse shit. I remember that. But anyway, so we're going to talk about some stuff like Jonathan Majors today. As far as I'm concerned, like I said, his career is over. I don't think he'll ever be able to come back from it.
All right.
That is just a messed up situation. Two toxic people in a relationship. And really, it takes two to tango. I think Bill Burr was right when he said that. You know, he's like, he was going at women who act like the woman didn't say or do anything that started the violence. And I've been in relationships, and I know how to shut down. I can shut down, and that's why I do it, because I've had women that try to do that, work me up into a lather, and I'm not going there. I won't let anybody work me into a lather. And it's like the minute they do that, the walls go up, and they're just like yelling and doing their shit at somebody who's not going to react to them or respond in any way. I'll just walk away. And that's what you got to do when somebody's like that. Women in America in particular are taught some really bad habits in relationships, and they act like it's just men. They know women are taught some really terrible habits. My favorite one is that if you're going to get into an argument, everything that person did wrong in your mind needs to be thrown at them at that moment. You got to bring everything at them, throw the kitchen sink, everything at them. It's like, that's not how you actually discuss things. That's how you fight. And fighting is about control. Fighting is about beating and defeating. When you're arguing or debating or discussing in disagreement, you're trying to reach a goal together. Find a way of mutual understanding and reach a mutual area where you can
compromise,
acquiesce. But when you're fighting and you're looking for an apology, you're not going to do well. You're not going to do well. If Jonathan Majors was smart, he would have invested in CIA extraction like Batman did in Dark Knight. I like that one. He would have run up a skyscraper and thrown up a balloon.
Yelling, "I'm out!"
I'm
the problem
in
is
loving relationship
also
with my pillows. They have never let me down. That's right. I love my pillows too. I have those really nice ones that form to my neck. I love them. Let's see. So anyway, Majors, my prediction is he's never going to make it back. He didn't get enough into Hollywood to become a star because he wasn't a star. There's nothing amazing about him. Nothing. Everything that is said to have been great about him was all manufactured.
his name should be Jonathan Miners now.
Oh my!
Yeah, he went from the
minor
majors to
felony?
the minors. Yeah, I know baseball. I play baseball.
Was it a minor felony though?
It's a minor felony.
Yep.
So let's talk about Sherry Redstone wanting to make this deal with Warner Brothers Discovery.
I don't think it's actually real. I think they're trying to hype up the stock.
Well, I also don't think it's what people think. I think this is more a deal about licensing more than anything. But I got to tell you, I guarantee you it's causing a shakeup at Paramount. And they need one there because they've had their head up their ass since she took over. She tried her best to undo what her father and Les Moonves did with Star Trek, and she couldn't do it. The contracts were too binding with Alex Kurtzman and his studio. What's his studio called? Out of the Closet? Is that it?
Out of Ideas.
Out of Ideas. Where did you play in the minors? I was not in the minors myself, but I did play Farm League. I got $200 a month to play baseball back in the 80s. Hail to all, unfortunately, and that was in Virginia, by the way, Tim. Hail to all. Unfortunately, my schedule will keep me from joining the panel today. I will be listening in on double speed until you get caught up. Merry Christmas to you, my friend. I will be broadcasting Christmas Day. That's Monday.
Same.
And we will be doing, Joe's going to join me, and we're going to do a little Military Monday. I don't know if we're going to do a movie. I think we're just going to talk about Christmas in the military, what it's like. I'm fine with whether or not the merger between Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount Global would come into fruition. I'm fine with it if it really did happen. I think that Warner Brothers would maybe knock the shit out of some of those assholes over at Paramount. And the deal, this is a thing I learned personally from corporate changes. I remember I had a contract with a company, and they went to have an investor meeting, is what they said and told us, that they're going to go have an investor meeting to where they could possibly give out percentages to all of us employees. We fell for that shit. Every one of us did. Gullible. And when they came back, what they had done is they had gone to their attorneys and had shut down the current corporation and dissolved it and created a whole new corporation. Yeah, Fredericksburg. And basically, my contract was null and void. And I had to negotiate a whole new contract. And I resented them so much for what they did, because I lost $30,000 when they did that from the company. Because they owed me that $30,000 as a guarantee for me to come back to the company from Atlanta. And so by doing that, it was a dirty trick, but I got even with them. And I don't know if I've ever told all of you guys, but I've told a few people what I did. I told Craig, my former boss, he just laughed. He goes, "You did what? Holy shit. Don't fuck with Gerry." I got even with him. I worked half days, but I got paid for full days. And that went on for like 8 months. And I made back almost all of that money that they stole from me by doing that little shitty move they did. So I was getting paid for 4 hours a day that I wasn't working. I was in the office, but I was fucking around on my own personal stuff.
Nice.
Here is something weird for you. In Poland, I am 47. In the Netherlands, I'm 46. What the fuck?
He's going to his birthday
Netherlands
is
are
in
1
like
hour behind Poland.
2 hours and
Oh,
something.
got you.
Time zones. He just wants us to say happy birthday. So happy birthday, Kitty Bear.
Happy birthday, Kitty Bear.
Happy
Happy
birthday, Kitty Bear.
birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Hope your pop's doing all right too.
See what you did? You made him sing.
So,
Don't do that.
let's see. Oh, Snortopoopus. Because Tim, first of all, good guess, Fredericksburg. Snortopoopus, Cuber, you grew up 50 miles from Fredericksburg. So you're either in Richmond or you're in DC. Because both of them are approximately 50 miles away. That's my guess. I'm sticking to it. And I love Fredericksburg, but I'll probably never go back. It's sad. I miss that place. It's changed so much since I left there.
Hey, Comic Relief Crusader. Welcome.
R&B would be the perfect person. Him or Keith.
Keith would just, I think he go, can we kill Alex Kurtzman? Can we legally do
They
that?
would create a character named Kurtzman, who is an ensign, and murder him in the first episode. That's what he would do. Because that's the creative way of killing somebody. Virginia has become a blue moose state. It's terrible there. Things that are happening to citizens in Virginia right now. Yeah, I don't even want to go there, man. Oh, it's disappointing. I grew, one of the coolest things I ever got to work on is I got to work on the bust of Governor Belial, who passed away, cancer. And I got to work on the bust that's in the Capitol there in Richmond. And that was really cool. I got to work on some cool shit in my life. I really have. You can try to lure Kurtzman to that area of Yellowstone, right? The hole in the ground. You can try to lure. Yeah, I like that. Correctamundo, Alexandria.
I'll trade you. Virginia.
The mall there in Alexandria, by the way, is one of the I think they call it Springfield Mall. In Alexandria, it's like one of my favorite malls I've ever gone to. And Steve Niles shopped there. And we were talking one night, and we were like, wait a minute, the record store there on the second floor at the mall. Yeah, I shopped there too. No, man, we talked like how I bet you we must have run into each other because I was always up there every weekend at that mall. And so Steve Ellis was there. Both of us were in bands, punk bands at the time, because we were the same age, Steve and I. Voyager was a holodeck program and has been erased. That's right. They renamed the Museum of Confederacy. Yeah, I was upset when they removed the slave stone off the corner because they acted like that was a monument to slavery, and I'm like, no, it was a monument to never repeating history.
It's supposed to be a reminder.
It's it. It's a reminder, and so they moved it to the museum, and I kind of hurt because my dad took me there, and he would tell me all about this stone and how they would have him stand up there and sell these people, and I'm like, this is horrible. Now it's gone. Now it's not there anymore to learn from. You got to go to a museum to learn from it. Oh, good luck with that. Getting people into a museum. Well, there have been mixed reviews regarding Star Trek Enterprise, though Archer is among a few things I love best. He was my favorite part of the show. Him and the Beagle. I forget the dog's name. I like the show. I like the other characters. But when I found out the true story behind the show, I really resented the show because they had promised Ronald D. Moore the next Star Trek series, and then they created that without him knowing, and then he walked in on the meeting. It really did happen. He walked in while they were having a secret meeting after hours and caught them planning the series, and he just walked out and never came back. And he went off and did Battlestar Galactica, which killed Star Trek Enterprise. If you didn't know that, Star Trek Enterprise was guaranteed another season if they could get the numbers. They got the numbers, but then Les Moonves canceled the show. Why? Because he liked Battlestar Galactica. Well, he didn't like it. He wanted something more like Battlestar Galactica, the new series that Moore made. So in the end, Ronald D. Moore got revenge on Star Trek. Hey, it's Paulie. What's up, buddy? We're going to be doing a show soon. I'm so excited about this. I've been waiting for him to finish the second season of Lincoln Lawyer. And he's finally going to watch him this week so we can do an episode talking about Lincoln Lawyer. I love that show so much.
It is that time of the show.
Oh, do it. Do your thing.
Do it now. Here we go.
Meet the Seattle Vigilante. Like so many comic heroes, this warrior hides his identity. But his identity isn't the only secret he has to keep. After grievous wounds received during combat, Tier 1 operator John Russell begins to recover and comes to terms with his new reality of being an amputee. And as he learns how to use his new prosthetic limb, he finds himself caught up in the bureaucratic red tape that too many wounded veterans experience, the exhausting medboard process. Out of sheer frustration, John takes it out on the criminal scum of the city. But when reality kicks in, John realizes he started something that's having an impact on the greater world around him, and thus has to reevaluate his motives. And moreover, just how far is John willing to go to finish this war he's declared against the criminals in Seattle? And will he even survive? From the creator of IDW's award-winning graphic novel Code Word Geronimo comes a new story about a different kind of warrior, Vindicated Inc., the first of its kind disabled veteran action hero comic. The Vindicated Inc. graphic novel crowdfunding campaign on fundmycomic.com is provided in the description of this video. We hope you become a contributor. Please share this link. Thank you.
It's like I'm doing the interviews again. I did Snow this morning, and we talked a little bit about the book. But I don't want to push too much because, when I'm doing shows with people that are within the community, it's a lot of you guys. It's like you guys have already heard it. So I enjoyed just sort of hanging out with him this morning and talking. But Polly is somebody I'm looking forward to doing this show with. We're going to do one about Vindicated, but before we do the Vindicated one, we'll be doing that in January. We will do a show reviewing the second season of Lincoln Lawyer, because if you've not seen that show, you need to watch it. It's really good. I thoroughly enjoy that show. I bet Les Moonves knew he was going down and he wanted to kill Star Trek when he was not kill Star Trek. He wanted to fuck with the people firing him. I don't think he has any feelings whatsoever towards Star Trek. He doesn't like.
Oh yes, he had. He always said that he
hated science fiction.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Star Trek. He hates science fiction. Thinks it's a stupid thing. All he saw it as was a money cow. Shower. Yeah, that's his dick.
Yep. And succeeded at making something very completely unprofitable. So, yeah.
Better to bust his door down with. Okay. Because if that was his wiener, man, that thing's fucking huge. His nickname in high school was Soup Can.
Jesus Christ. I love that shot though, because you can see a photo on the wall, and that's Dale and Julia.
Yeah, the photo. Yep, the photo on the wall is Dale and Julia, because they're his in-laws, and he has a close relationship with them. And you'll see that as the story progresses, because his relationship with his dad was not very good, and so he kind of turns to his late wife's father for advice and shit like that. But you won't see much of that in the first book. You just see one scene with him, but there's a couple scenes in the second book and the third book. So as far as the merger goes, I do hope it is real. I actually got to say that, because they need to shake up and get in. And as I brought up what happened with me with the contract, if they form a new corporation or any of that stuff, that makes so many other contracts null and void. And that's how you get rid of someone like Alex Kurtzman. It's a whole new deal.
Well, I hope it doesn't happen, but what I would prefer to have happen would be that Paramount, because they can't manage Star Trek at all, sells it off to someone that will actually
license it.
License it out or something. Because I hate corporate consolidation. The more companies,
and I think that's more or less what's really going to happen here. Is any of the big IPs they've got that Warner might be interested in, I think it's not going to be a merger. I think it's going to be a deal where they broker a deal to license out some of their properties, and Star Trek would probably fare well from this, because it would get rid of Alex Kurtzman too. That's another great way to get rid of it, because it wouldn't be a deal with Paramount anymore. It'd be a deal with Warner Brothers. I have mixed feelings about Simon Bennett being the Alex Kurtzman of the Power Rangers universe after. Yeah, I agree with you. He's a dipshit. Let's see. Oh, and Penny's been a member for 7 months. And you have a blessed Christmas too, Penny. You too.
Merry Christmas, Penny.
Or as Opus would say, hairy fishnets. Anybody?
Whatever gets you through the day.
Opus is the penguin from Bloom County. He would say hairy fishnets. You said member? Oh. Shut up,
Tim. We haven't played his video.
Yeah, go for it.
If I can find it.
Well, while you look for that video, I'm going to play one. Yeah. Because this is how I feel about with some of these breaches today.
Where's the beef?
I also feel like this video.
Oh, it's a lot better than we usually do. All
right, thumbs up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins!
Oh my God, he just ran in.
Here, it is your video, Tim.
By what name are you known? There are some who call me Tim.
Yeah, I love hanging out, Lady V. I love hanging out with Tom, because Tom can slip into Beavis and Butthead. He does that voice. It cracks me up. Merry Fishmas. Yes, that's from The Simpsons. Now, I said something the other night, and the guys were like, at the party last night is when I said it, because somebody brought up Christmas, Santa's Little Helper, the dog. And I said, yeah, I remember the episode that he was a rescue dog from the dog track. And I said, that was back when Simpsons was really good, when Sam Simone was the showrunner and Homer wasn't stupid yet. And then they looked at me like, well, we never really watched The Simpsons. I'm like, then how the fuck do you know Simpsons trivia? And that's when I learned some people just want to know the trivia and don't watch stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. That's weird. Okay. Whatever works. Beavis and Butthead is among a few things I love best about Paramount Global. I love the new show. It cracks me up. Tom and I compared notes talking about it. We should talk about that one time on one of our Saturdays. Tom and Gerry does Beavis and Butthead.
Oh man, the Stolen Valor episode alone. It's like they were Unit 69.
Yeah. I'm saying when I watch it first, I'm like, no way that really happened. But that's fucking funny. It's really funny. I still laugh about it. Well, I got to tell you, I know a young lady that's with me right now, right next to me, who's done pretty well with Trek trivia, and she didn't watch all that much Star Trek.
Excuse me, I did.
Sure.
And I prepared for the trivia, but yeah, all the guys that were shit talking me the weeks coming
Matt
up to
Vader.
Yeah,
Katie.
no, Vader wasn't. Vader was just watching that one because he was home because the coof. But Alex, Salty Nerd, Danny, the guy Brian from Popcast, they all talked shit about beating me. And I slammed them into the ground. It was hilarious. Gary was there as audience. He was my cheerleader. It was fun.
Gerry is basically, people will learn Star Trek by osmosis just by being around you. Star Trek feeds off your body into the atmosphere and then starts infesting everyone around you like a virus, but a Star Trek virus.
It's true. I don't think, by the way, I just got a message from Admiral Teague. I think he's listening to the show right now about tomorrow with Tom. It's not happening. It's too close to the holiday. He's doing family shit. I'll double check with him, but I don't think we're doing a show tomorrow.
Oh, what?
Let me ask. Hold on. Let me go ask him. It's so hard to do shows around the holidays.
I'm preparing the slideshow for that.
I do so much work. It'll still happen.
Also, it's a Christmas movie. It's a perfect day.
It's
I'm
Scrooge.
looking forward to that. Man.
I'm asking him
Who's
right
doing
now.
what to who?
I hope he can do it. If he can do it, that'll be great. But it's hard for me to have expectations of Tom during the holidays.
Jeebus, no. You have no idea how Jude asks questions.
Yeah, Jude
Especially
asks
how
very
she asks
difficult
me.
question. What is
She's
the
really hard
room
response.
number for such and such character
Yeah.
on the ship? And it's like I'm like, man, I know trivia, but what the fuck is that? Yeah, see, he can't do tomorrow.
So no show?
No show.
No, we can do
No
a
show
normal
for you.
Saturday stream.
So Kanatsky, you're the Yahtzee of show.
No
show for you.
No show.
Man, I am typing like shit. I just typed him. It's almost like fucking gibberish.
Welcome to my life.
Let's see. How about
Yeah, but you don't type. You do yours voice to text, and it's gibberish.
No.
Yes.
I don't even try voice to text.
Just.
Yes.
No. Just.
There's a person in one of the group chats that I'm in, and she's typing like crap. And once another person couldn't figure out what she was saying, so I was trying to translate. He was patient, was like, it feels like she's typing with her left butt cheek. Because that's what it looks like.
One of
yes,
the people.
the answer is for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yes, because that was a film he wanted to do, and I don't want to try to do the show that he picked to do without him. I'm funny about that. It's that whole weird loyalty thing I have. So we'll find something to do tomorrow for fun. In fact, let's discuss what we're going to do.
Why
do
did
we
you
have?
why'd you do Christmas?
Oh, that's right,
special?
Scrooged. That's right.
We watched
Scrooged.
that first Saturday.
Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, because Tom had already told me he had the party. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, see him. Yeah. I just showed Anima this year one of my favorite films with Edward G. Robinson called Key Largo with Bogart, Bacall, and Lionel Barrymore and Edward G. Robinson. It was his last portrayal of a gangster. And that is a great film. Remember that where they're there during the hurricane at a hotel in the Keys?
Oh.
Humphrey Bogart, Lauren Bacall, Barrymore, Anima, are you there?
Yeah.
Anima, come in. Anima, come in. Anima.
I'm sorry. I'm fucking tired. I have no idea what you're talking about.
We watched that movie with Lauren Bacall and Humphrey Bogart where they're on the island. He came there to talk to them because their son died with him in World War II. And he went there to visit them. And while he's there, a gangster is held up in the hotel during a hurricane.
Monkey, I will do that. I will watch Del Destiny for $250,000. I will suffer for that much money and not a penny less.
Meowing like a bitch.
Yeah, that's Rocket Kitty. You all know her.
All right, I'm going
Shut
to.
up.
All right, here we go. I'm probably going to get claimed later for this. I don't still fucking care. I'll remove it later.
My name is Frank McLeod. I'm about 12 miles off Boot Key Harbor on my way in. Over. Hold your course. You're headed straight for Key Largo.
What the fuck is with that announcer's voice?
You're heading for Key Largo.
Man, when that one dude started doing movie trailers in the world,
The
died.
real question here is he part of the Clan MacLeod?
Yeah. Are you what was McLeod's name?
Duncan and Connor.
Connor, are you Connor McLeod of the Clan McLeod? They love saying the name McLeod. You always had to do it twice.
McLeod.
Key Largo.
Ring any bells yet, Anima?
I vaguely remember watching that with you.
What I love about this movie is it was shot on a set, but lit like it was supposed to be natural. And they actually had a water tank out there with boats, and some of the boats were miniatures floating in the background with fake people on them. It was really cool, clever how they did it to make it look like there was distance when there wasn't. I love this movie.
A price on their lives by a man with a price on his head.
Yeah, he gives him a gun, but there are no bullets in the gun. And Bogart doesn't fall for it. I'm not falling for that. No way. So, Sam McLeod.
Sam McLeod of the Clan MacLeod.
Do I threaten your masculinity, McLeod?
No. I threaten yours?
I had to fit that in there because I'm like, we're talking about McLeod.
Hey, Eakley.
Hey, Eakley Thomason's here. What's up, buddy? So, yeah, I don't know. We're just sort of winging it today. There was supposed to be a list or some shit, but I don't know.
Yeah, Martin doesn't write them anymore.
Like, what else were we supposed to talk today about? Is there a list of things we're supposed to talk about?
Whatever, man.
No, you made a thumbnail for it.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what was on there.
Okay. Supposedly, each of us should come with three options for three different categories of nerdy Christmas stuff. Movies, uh, Christmas special episodes for TV shows, and Christmas animation. All in the nerdy category, of course.
I don't know what you said, but it sounded sexy.
And this, guys, is what a production meeting on Pop Culture Minefield is like. More or less.
Yeah, I was not in any of these meetings, so this is all new to me. I saw the thumbnail; it looks great, but I thought Keith was going to be here. And it was going to be something you guys did.
I gave you the description in a private message.
I don't read that stuff.
Hi, Keith.
I don't have time.
Black.
Greetings.
Oh, that's
Greetings,
it.
all.
There goes the neighborhood.
That's a lot of nuts.
He gets totally professional. He's saving us.
I'll be honest with you.
Are you on the road or did you stop, Keith?
Right now, we're getting ready to go get a little gas here because you kind of need that petrol to make the vehicle go. How we doing, everybody?
I'm doing.
Everybody's doing
fine.
great except for Fat
Wow, that's
Steve
a
Seagal.
long-
I watched Rebel Moon.
He's
You
sad
didn't.
this weekend because he saw Rebel Moon.
Oh,
Man, I never seen Steven so broken by a movie before.
He reminds me of that old limerick that you would find on the toilet stall wall that you had to pay to go into. He says, "Here I sit all broken hearted. I paid to shit and only farted." That's Rebel Moon.
Well, it's on Netflix, right?
Wow.
Now it's on streaming, right? So I don't have Netflix, but thank God I don't have Netflix.
Hey, any thoughts on Jonathan Majors? Because I said what I think is that he did not build enough of a career, and it was a manufactured career. For some reason they wanted to make this guy into a star, and you look at him and you're like, I don't get it. I don't get what you think is so great about this guy. And then, of course, everything implodes on this guy. Now, if he had had years of acting, he could rebuild his career.
Yes.
But there's no chance. He's screwed. It's over.
Well, it's really what has come out in this trial really does make him persona non grata. There's almost no way I can see him resurrecting his acting career.
At all. No.
He'll have to choose something else to get back into the business. But as far as being in front of the camera,
dinner theater.
No. I mean, he could come back and be an agent. He can come back and even be a writer. He can do anything but acting. He won't. I can't see him doing that again because of the manner of what he was accused of and what it came out in trial, and it's some damning stuff. And from what I've heard, that's only a little bit of it. Okay, so if there's more stuff, I don't think I know anybody that really wants to be in the same business with him. And given what seems to be wrong with him, and you got to understand something, he actually did do something to his girlfriend. Okay,
Kid, I need you to lower your volume.
Hold on, we can.
How about now?
Have control over that.
Okay, let Gerry do it.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay.
Nice.
He actually did do something to his girlfriend. It's not like he talked about eating her. It's not like he talked about a fantasy. It's not like any of that stuff. He actually did do something. So anybody trying to defend him, you need to understand that he did do something. And their conversations actually do allude to that. It's just, I can't see him coming back in any capacity. And that's sad.
I stand on the same spot, man. I absolutely agree. This guy doesn't have a chance. He didn't have a career. What career he did have was manufactured, and people did not buy into him that much.
Well, he was gone anyway. Look, anybody that thought that he was actually going to come back, here's something that you have to realize. Because of the messed up way everything has been going with the MCU, lots of delays and everything else, they still had projects that they needed him to do. Okay, this was not something where Marvel was lying in wait. This was
Right.
a foregone conclusion based on the projects that they had. And so there was no way Jonathan Majors could ever catch up with that. Okay. And I think Tom had been saying the same thing since April. You know, he had announced that he had heard that Majors was gone back in April. And so when Tom said it, I pretty much thought, okay, let's just look at this. And he's been proven, Tom Connors, he's been proven right. So really, at this point, it's really just a matter of what are they going to replace Kang with? Because I'm telling you right now, any actor that you try to bring in to play Kang isn't going to work.
You know what?
But then again,
Keith, I've been joking. It'll be Terrence Howard. They'll bring
I
him
don't think
back.
Terrence Howard will come back.
No, he won't. But it's a good joke.
You know what?
I think ultimately.
You know what?
Ultimately, what?
That him and Cyborg could team up for a buddy cop movie.
I don't even no. Being serious, even he didn't do what Majors did. I mean, that's more of a situation where you have someone that said some things and rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Saying something is not the same as having done something. Okay,
Well,
and
I
that
mean, you
really,
look at
really,
what Armie
really
Hammer.
understood.
Armie Hammer is another one, Keith. His career's over. It'll never come back.
Yes.
Majors
And it's
actually
because of
he
something
physically
that's
did
said.
something to this girl.
Yes.
Now, agreed, it takes two to tango, but the fact is he did these things. And
That's right.
He's found guilty of it.
Wait.
and
I think
it
I
will
remember.
haunt him forever.
Wait, I think he was only found guilty of only one charge, and it was the lesser of all the charges.
Yeah.
So I think
And-
they are saying that there has been this conflation that how he was found guilty of one charge, that now he's guilty of everything.
Well, look, they're going to conflate. They're going to do that. I don't care one way or the other.
Yeah.
I actually like the stuff that he's in. I thought he was okay. I don't think he was like
I did
write home about.
I like some of the projects he had done, but I mean, if you're gonna look, I have to say this: if anything, he's dumb, because the moment he signed the dotted line to be a part of the Marvel universe, you really have to understand that that's like becoming, that's like joining the Star Wars universe. That's like becoming part of the James Bond universe. People are going to take special notice of you. And there are a lot of people around that are looking to bring you down anyway, for any type of reason. There are people looking.
Hold on, bud. I got to get into this because D-Bud Martin brought this up. We all pretty much were on top of this, D-Bud. It's like the minute Marvel put him on hold, it was over for him. He was not going to come back. Keith and I said that too.
Yeah.
But with Ezra Miller, his career's over too. What he did hurt that movie, whether you realize it or not. It did damage for that film. A lot of people didn't go see it. I didn't go see it. I'm not going to go watch a film with him.
Here's another reason why Ezra Miller's gone. Ezra Miller's inability to stay out of trouble gave the
like
MCU
chucking women, throwing chairs at women.
His inability to stay out of trouble gave Kevin Feige and the MCU time to take one of the story points out of his movie and place it in one of theirs and have a lot of success with it. And that's Spider-Man No Way Home. That's talked about
Ezra
in the MCU book.
That's right. Ezra is done. They got that movie only out of necessity because
That's right. They
money
had
been
to
put in it.
Yes. That's the thing with David Zaslav and Warner Brothers. Remember, Zaslav didn't make any of these movies. None of these movies were made while he was running Warner Brothers. It was all made prior to him taking over, or else he would have shut it down. Okay? These are all the films they had to put out because, as Script Doctor has said, when you announce a movie, that is basically you have a contract with all the theaters around the world that you are going to deliver a product. So you have to deliver something. Okay? And it's much easier to get rid of something that's made for streaming than it is made for theaters. Because streaming, you can just not do it. You can just not show it. And that's what happened with Willow. And that's what happened with Batgirl. Those projects were made for streaming, so it was easy to get rid of them. But all the movies
Indy,
stuff,
I'm sorry. I love you, Kingsport Cal. You don't know what you're talking about when it comes to this stuff. The industry doesn't work that way. Once something goes sour, it's sour. You can maybe some indie director down in Texas or Louisiana will hire him for his movie. That is not the same fucking thing. That's a whole different fucking kettle of fish. It's just not the same. His career, as he knew it, is over. You can wish in one hand and shit in the other. See which one fills up first when it comes to majors. His career is done.
Kingsport Cal, I know you like the guy, but here's
I liked him too. I like his movies, but I know how to read the fucking room.
That's right. There's another talented actor who doesn't have a career anymore, and that's Armie Hammer, as you had pointed out. And all he did was say something.
Say something about wanting to eat human flesh.
Yes.
Fucking weirdo.
That's if you can actually think that it's worse.
You cannot agree with us all you like. It doesn't mean we're wrong. I know we're right. Historically, we've been more accurate than inaccurate.
Saying something about eating people versus actually hurting someone else,
beating them, choking them out.
But in the case of Jonathan Majors, he actually did do something to his girlfriend. She was hurt. Okay, so if you are saying that it's worse what Armie Hammer did, I can't go there with you. Okay, I can't because that is insane. That truly is insane. Okay, you can like the guy all you want, but he needs help more so than anything else. Even more important than his career, he needs help. I don't know.
We're not going to be proven wrong. You know, why didn't you save the ones where we predicted stuff? You know, the whole Schadenfreude thing is funny on this, but you can save it all you want to, and we won't be wrong. Tom's the same way. We're in agreement with Tom. His career, as he knew it, is over. What I do think is possible, like Keith brought up, is that he could forge a new career in film industry behind the scenes. And because if he loves film, that'll probably be what happens. I mean, it's happened to other actors. You look at that situation with the doctor actor from Grey's Anatomy, you know, that stood his ground with one of the other character actors on the show and said a disparaging word towards him, the other F word, and got shit canned for it. And they blacklisted this guy in Hollywood. But he's found a way to make money, but he will never see stardom again. Not the way he had on Grey's Anatomy. Because once they set their teeth in you, they don't fucking let go.
Yeah.
You look at how they still talk about Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson is one of those people who has just enough history to keep him afloat in film. That they can't completely destroy him. But he has history. If you don't have that background, that history, it is next to impossible to save your career when they do that shit to you.
That's right.
Holy DV.
It sucks.
I have an idea. I think Jonathan Majors and O.J. Simpson should team up and do a new Dog the Bounty Hunter and see how that goes with that.
No, and we love you, Kingsburg. You know that. It's just, I'm telling you, I know you don't agree with this, but in the end, we'll end up being right. It's going to end up happening. We're almost always right in everything we said. I think the only major mistake you and I made with our predictions was Sherry Redstone. Because you and I really believed she was going to do it. And didn't know what Les Moonves did.
Oh, Les Moonves and a lot of the woke executives. Again, a lot of the stuff that we're seeing as far as actors and stuff, as far as projects, You have to understand the rot set in on the executive side long before it got in front of us. As far as I'm concerned.
But I'm talking about the thing that screwed us the most was Les Moonves' contract with Alex Kurtzman.
Yes.
He did not anticipate that.
Yes. And I thought Sherry was going to be able to come back from that, but there were other things that also made Sherry Redstone, want to get to the place where she is now. CBS has basically come close to financially falling apart. A lot of the deals and stuff that they've had, their share price, their stock price. Look, everything that you're hearing right now about Disney, CBS and Paramount have gone through a lot of that. People need to understand how bad all of this is. It's like what you've been hearing, go woke, go broke. And CBS was really the first of them to experience that. Warner Brothers' problem was they got too greedy, and AT&T didn't know who they were dealing with as far as some of the weird woke people that had infected Warner Brothers. Okay, and again, you can't solve a problem if first you don't know how the company that you're running works, and if you allow the people who caused the problem to stay there to quote unquote help you fix it. They're not fixing it. All they're doing is staying entrenched. And so AT&T basically had to find somebody to come in and just start whipping that butt. And that's what Zaslav did. He came in and just basically acted like mom and dad's home, and there are mass whippings for everybody.
I'm sorry, I like the last two comments. Let me go back here real quick. We need less Moonves, am I right? And lesbian Moonves. And then there's this one, Jonathan Majors can star as O.J. Simpson. Oh my God, no. He was not that bad. What ends up happening is you get caught up in these toxic relationships. You got two people who are toxic. Okay? Shit's going to happen. They're toxic for each other. They may not be toxic people, but people can be toxic for other people in a relationship, even if they're not a toxic person. And it took two to tango in this relationship with some of the fucked up shit that happened, because she did shit to him too.
Well, those emails and the things that were said, especially the recordings, she's talking about lying to police to cover for him.
Yeah.
Okay. You do realize that that's what she was talking about, and that came out in a court of law. That is now part of the record. Okay. Yep. So I don't care. Realistically, I really don't care how nice of a guy Jonathan Majors was. In a court of law, he was basically talking with someone. He was talking about lying to police to cover for something that he did. Now, most guys, if your woman starts talking like that, your reaction, if you're a normal guy, is what? If your reaction is not that, and you just it's just regular conversation, newsflash, that looks real bad. And again, Jonathan Majors, I don't know him, never met him, but I will say this. Whoever his agent is, whoever his friends are, he needs to get rid of him, because they should have been on duty to continue to remind him that he is working for a major corporation who are investing a lot of money and a lot of time in him. And the very fact that he continued to act this way, even up to this earlier this year, he's just a dumb A for doing stuff. You got to know who you're working for, and you are willing to accept the terms of your contract and the money, which means you got to curb your behavior. That doesn't mean that you take the money and still do whatever you want. You are an employee, and that is the problem with Warner Brothers. That's the problem with CBS. That's the problem with a lot of these companies. You got people just doing stuff. I mean, it seems like the only companies that have learned any lesson is Warner Brothers and Netflix. I think Netflix got rid of a lot of the woke people. That's the reason why a lot of their content's starting to get better.
The other thing that fucked everything up was everyone went, wait, Netflix is making how much money? We could make that too. We just have to spend how much? And we'll replace Netflix. Oh, you mean we wasted billions of dollars on streaming
Well, they could
services.
do it, but it was the mistiming of when everything happened. Okay? If this had happened at any other time, if this had happened like 20 years ago, I think Disney could have made a really good run at this. But having the people that they had that were already within that company and doing all the things behind the scenes was undermining any success they were going to have with streaming. Okay? It's the thing, again, this is the thing that Netflix figured out. Okay? Netflix figured out, especially after look at the success of One Piece. Okay? Go back a year, 2 years, you're looking at Cowboy Bebop, and look at the lack of success that had. I'm not just talking about the actress who gave an interview. That was just bad. And look what happened with the creator of that, of the original anime, who came out to say, well, they didn't listen to me. Versus what's being done with One Piece and the creator of One Piece. So they have a lot of success with that. So they're going to repeat that formula. That's the way it should go. And that's a company that has learned. Because I'm telling you right now, the only reason why they're doing a season 2 of He-Man is because that's already been done. That was already baked into the contract. Okay, they had already spent the money and they were already doing the work. But I'm telling you, I don't think He-Man under He-Man the new He-Man series that Kevin Smith and his people are I don't think there's going to be a season 3 or 4 of that. If there is, then there was something more to that. But I'm telling you, a lot of that woke stuff is gone. I mean, gone. A lot of those people, gone. And that's a good thing. That shows, as Valiant Renegade, as Tom Connors and others have been saying, whatever has been happening, whatever you want to call this, a war, whatever, the people who believe in honesty and good entertainment and really protecting our kids, that side's winning. The culture war is being fought right now, and the positive side is winning. That's it.
Yep. And then we need to make sure these people can never ever come back.
Yeah, and by the way, but what Bush just said, I was reading what Bush was talking about. Look, free speech only goes so far. It doesn't really work on the job. Free speech on the job is different. You have free speech in your personal life, but when you're working for somebody and they're paying you to be there, guess what? Your speech is null and void while you're on the clock. Now, agreed, if you want to speak about that company, but you should expect to get fired from it if you do speak out against the company. That's one thing. But if you decide to make a political statement while on the clock with the job you have, they have every right to fucking quash what you're doing and fire you immediately. And we've seen companies again and again, these multi-billion-dollar companies like NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, allowing athletes on the clock to make political statements. That's not free speech. It has nothing to do with free speech. This is a private organization, a private company. They're allowing this stuff because what we've seen is an infiltration by leftists into, and they don't care if they lose money. That's the crazy thing about leftists. Money doesn't seem to really matter to them. Money only matters in that they're able to push forward their political agenda. And so you see the NFL, NBA, MLB, they're all losing money. They've been losing money for years since they started going left of center.
And they're lying to you. I said it before and I will say it again. I don't give a care what your political philosophy is, but I'm going to tell you something. With Kathleen Kennedy and the Force is Female, that's a great slogan, but she's a liar.
It is a lie. There's
because
no
not one female director was allowed to direct any of the Star Wars movies. Not one. And in fact, not even a person of color. Every single director for every single Star Wars film was a white male.
Yep.
Including the 3 major ones that Disney had. So go ahead and keep wearing your t-shirts, Kathleen, but you lied. You lied straight up.
She's a huckster. She's a huckster. They're all hucksters. And they're huckstering themselves into bankruptcy. and
Yeah.
that's fine. It's sad because it hurts fans.
I do think they will successfully bankrupt Disney by the time they're done. Other companies will barely survive. But
Well, again,
I'm
to
pretty
point it
sure
out,
Disney's
Star
gonna
Wars
die.
hasn't made a profit yet. They're still in the red. They've never left the red. They have not turned a profit once.
All of this is just bad. It's bad business. And again, I've been saying it since we started the show. Ultimately, all this stuff is going to be taught in future business classes of what not to do.
How to not run your business.
This entire era, and the saddest part about it is that there's a lot of really talented people, really talented creatives who are involved with these, but they had no control over the core of it. So all that effort and work was wasted.
Yeah, and again, it seems like Marvel's is getting ready to show us that they haven't learned a thing. Their plans for Fantastic Four, their plans for the X-Men, that is insane. Anybody still holding out hope? Because again, I can speak as someone that held out hope at one time. No longer. I'm done. I'm done with Kevin Feige. I'm done with his lying. I think the guy is a huckster. I really do. I do not believe that he knows anything about comics, because you're going to set the X-Men up to basically be a female-led group, and you're going to make Mr. Sinister your main villain. Well, anybody that's picked up an X-Men comic can tell you what's wrong with that. First and foremost, Mr. Sinister as a character, who was he interested again in the comics?
Cyclops and Jean.
Mainly Cyclops, though, and his family. If you're going to get rid of mainly all the males, why do you have Mr. Sinister as your villain?
They don't care about that.
It makes no sense.
It's not like they have a cartoon series from the 90s that they could reference that is really well beloved.
Well, they do. They're going to ignore it.
They're ruining that too.
Unless people that are actually good at their job, that are women, aren't being picked because of their gender. And that's what they try to make the argument of. But the fact is there are very few female directors out there that can carry that stuff so far. They need to have a little more experience in production.
There are
Mimi Leader's one of the few. Mimi Leader, what was it?
Catherine Bigelow.
Catherine Bigelow. And when she was alive, Penny Marshall, I loved her work.
Also, what's her name?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was another one. There was the original director for what became Thor: The Dark World was originally a woman. She was one of the few female directors on Game of Thrones. And she left because she had a problem with the way they were making the movie. Of course, we now know what that problem was, which is the formulaic way that they make the movies. Basically, as a director, your job is almost a figurehead for the most part. Kevin Feige and the Marvel
Kevin
production
Feige
people,
backseat directs. Yes.
Yes, that's exactly what he's been doing. And so that's the reason why a lot of big-time directors and don't want to work for the MCU, and why many of the directors they had from phases 1 to 3 haven't come back, because they're better than Kevin. And they know how to tell him no. That is the one big thing that you should understand as to why James Gunn has an obvious lead over the MCU in that respect. He can get people to sign up and say yes and do whatever, because he's not going to backseat drive, at least not that we've seen to this point. But that's way better than what they're doing with the MCU right now.
Patty Jenkins is another one, by the way. Yes.
That's right. She was available back then. That was the other thing. She was available to direct in the MCU in the beginning, way before Warner Brothers got to her. So, I mean, for me, again, this just furthers not only how Kevin Feige's full of it, but again, this furthers what I said, that Kathleen Kennedy's full of it. You know, you're going to act like you can't find a female director to direct A Star Wars movie? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And the one she
I'm telling
does
you, they're full of shit.
is Harvey Weinstein's assistant. That's the one you find. That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
one you use.
Yeah. Yeah, that's bad. That it's all bad. And again, I'm just saying, Lucasfilm, Marvel Studios, for the most part, really Marvel, but Marvel Studios, and pretty much even Pixar, they're all gonna have to. It's gonna have to be a couple years. They're all gonna have to lay low.
You have to
because
earn trust back.
that's right. It's gonna take a while, you know, and that's pretty bad on Disney's behalf that they're going to have to do that because they're their three heaviest hitters. This last decade of entertainment, those are the three companies that have contributed so much money to Disney. When you really look at what Disney had prior to those three, look at how much money Disney was able to make with anything that they had outside of Lucasfilm, Marvel, and Pixar.
Yeah.
Not that much.
Well, it just goes to show, basically, Me Too destroyed Disney.
Yeah.
Because think about it.
In the last few
Gunn-
minutes of the show, I really wanted to talk about something positive because Anima and I watched last night the pilot episode for Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
It was good. I liked it.
It was damn good. I thought it was better than the film.
It is.
I was
my daughter was
impressed
there.
with what they did. Good storytelling, no personal politics in it. Everything felt natural and flowed, and everybody was good in their parts. The writing was good, the direction was solid, and it was visually fun to watch. The giant minotaur, man, that scene. Oh wow, that was
That
cool.
was so cool. And after the episode, we were silent for a moment, and then Gerry was like, "Holy fuck! They actually made something that is good."
Yes, I
That's
can't believe that's on
something.
Disney. I
Yeah.
cannot believe Disney put this out. It is
I
that
want to watch
good.
more.
Again, it's a slow process. Things are changing, and again, I think certain people, it takes a while to make a decision to make something and for that to go through the system. I mean, again, we're still. I think a lot of these projects probably have been in 2 years, maybe 3 years in the making. Okay, so what was happening 3 years ago? You know. But I
Chapek
think
is still in. Yep.
I just think that ultimately what we got is it's going to take a while to get things back on track. But I'm telling you right now, as far as Marvel and everything else, that's going to take a while. But it feels good that you have a positive project, a good project like this. And you can add that to Godzilla -1. Heck, you can even add Top Gun Maverick, because technically that film should not have worked, and it did. You know,
I'll tell you the show that doesn't work, and I'm still watching it because I'll watch anything with Kurt Russell in it, is Monarch. I was really disappointed. It broke my heart that they made such a shitty show. It's just not good.
But there is another positive thing, Gerry. Vindicated. It'll come out next year. And then there's the stuff you and me are doing. And there's more stuff on top of that.
Put your money where your mouth is. Is what I've always been told. It's like, if you don't like other people's writing, then you write something. So I did. And the reaction to what I've shown so far, 3 chapters from the book, I've got the support of 2 of my, I don't want to call them my heroes or my idols, but I really look up to Mike Barron and Chuck Dixon. And they both loved what I did with Vindicated. In fact, Mike Barron went in so far as to say that they just don't make comics like this, but they should. And so I have, and it makes me proud that I've made a book that nobody else is doing, which is being realistic, because I'm not interested in superheroes. I don't want to tell those stories. I like reading them, but I'm not interested in writing about that stuff. I'm interested in real heroes, soldiers, guys who actually go out there and put their life on the line.
Well, Vindicated is like
things they believe in.
Vindicated is like a Christopher Nolan production. in my opinion. I mean, it
And
is very much like.
I would say, as far as like the good stuff he makes, like Oppenheimer. I
Yeah.
loved Oppenheimer. He's a hit or miss sometimes. I'm one of the few people who really love Tenet because, you know, I love science. Science is like my bag, man. It's my bag, man. But a lot of people didn't like Tenet. But when I go back and look at some of his films, and I not always so excited about him, you know, because I didn't like his first movie, Following. I didn't think it was that good. But I loved his next venture, which was
Memento.
Memento. I fucking love that movie. And somebody, I remember back when it came out, like went and made a fan edit of it to put it in chronological order. And I'm like, yeah, but that's missing the point of what's going on. That chaos was there for a reason, because they were trying to show us the chaos of his life with his mind, because he's got goldfish memory. That every so many minutes he forgets everything new. All new memories are gone. The realistic part of it is going to make it more interesting than superheroes. In fact, I told Anima a scene that takes place in the second book, and she got excited by that, like what I did there. And there's actually a scene in another movie that pissed me off because I wrote it before they did it in their movie, which is an elevator scene with a grenade. And because he tricks these guys into thinking he's coming down the elevator, and what he does instead, I don't want to tell you. You have to read the damn book. But he kills all these bad guys very quickly because he's smarter than them. And the thing I tell people about tier 1 operators, the thing that's fascinating about them is individually they're fucking dangerous, because these guys have been trained to be troublemakers. In fact, you remember one of the nicknames for the early version of OSS and those guys that went out there, Special Forces, was being troublemakers. Their job was to make things rough on the enemy. They go in there and mess with the enemy's shit and fuck with them. And they didn't always kill people. They often went out there and destroyed shit to mess with the enemy. And it's something I joke about even in real life, when it's like, you know, you're sitting there and it's like, well, today, this nuclear plant over in name your Middle East country where you don't want nuclear involved was suddenly like went down today. The scientists or government is saying that it was merely no. What happened was some Special Forces guys went in there and fucked their shit up, and then left. And so, you know, you got this guy, and I tried to explain, because this all came from, you know, there are a lot of inspirations for Vindicated, but the big one was a discussion I had with Ultra Rob and Mac, two of my buddies, Ultra Rob and Mac. I think you've met Ultra Rob, Keith. I'm not sure if you ever met Mac. Anima's met Mac through the phone. She got to talk to him
and
one
he
night.
took the phone and just wandered off.
He just wandered off with it, and I'm like, "Hey, bring my girlfriend back." Don't get to walk up with my girlfriend, bastard. But anyway, we had a debate about how the Punisher or Batman could exist in the real world. And I said, well, if you pay attention to Batman Begins or any iteration of the Punisher, each time they would actually be caught. They would absolutely be caught. They have to rely on fantasy that the police are going to bungle it up and not catch it. And that's not what's going to happen. There's a paper trail with Batman in particular. And the fact that they know who Frank Castle is just, you know, he's going to prison at some point and never getting out. So how does somebody do that? And I said, you would need someone at the level of a tier 1 operator who's capable of working on their own or with a team, and never create a paper trail, no money, no purchase of items, no equipment. You can't. I mean, that's how Bruce is going to get caught. And it's kind of, he shows it in this, was it the second or third film? The third film, because the guy is going to tattle on him because he knows that the Tumblr was Wayne Enterprises. I'm like, well, of course it was going to happen.
The second one.
They
We
also
have a
had-
super chat, man, from Kitty Bear.
Hey, £2 or euros.
It's
Is that
euros.
two
Yeah.
euros? It's
Euros.
That's like $1 billion in America. No, I don't know what it is. And he
It's
says,
less.
Chocolate cake and strawberry cake. Thank you, sir.
Oh yeah.
And thank you very much. I don't know what the transfer is for euros to
I think that
dollar.
would be about $2.30.
And you know what? It's inflated. I know that because when the UK stepped out and left the union, it hurt the euro. So I suspect, because they're notorious liars there in Europe. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. I'm talking about the governments, not the people. The governments are notorious liars.
All governments are.
Look what happened in Greece. Look what happened in Greece. They fucking lied. They fudged the numbers. It finally came out. And I think they've been fudging the numbers with the euro. And so I think it's inflated, and it's going to eventually come around to bite them in the ass. And I feel bad for every country involved in the European Union that's using euros. I don't have a problem with the European Union. I have a problem with the euro, because the euro, I think they're lying about the value.
I was almost right. It would be $2.20.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
$1.10.
Because I remember you told me something, and I was like floored by that. I'm like, really? After UK, because the UK was the bank for the euro. That's why they didn't want them to leave, because they were the ones who backed up the notes. The British pound, sterling pound, backed up the euro. And then when they lost that, I'm like, well, what's backing it up now? What? And it's just, that's why I call bullshit. I think that they're lying, and it's eventually going to hurt the people of Europe. I think it will. But anyway, thank you very much, Kitty Bear. You're awesome, dude. I guess we should give all the thank yous out to everybody, because we're going to be ending the show here now.
You're welcome.
So, yes. I want to thank Fat Steven Seagal for being so awesome.
Oh yeah, okay. Thank you.
I want to thank FKHC 2005, aka Tim, our good friend Zax, aka Kyle, Dadman Walking, Penny, aka Penny, Lady V Elements, Don Ranger Power, D Bud Martin, Kingsport Cal, Snortopupus Cuber, the Peter Vinkman fan site, aka Vinkman's Girl, Boosh McFadden, Monkey Jeebus, thank you, come again, War Monkey. It was a House of Monkeys today. LDG Free the Net, Deleted Scenes was here. I'm sorry he couldn't join us today. Freaking work. Kitty Bear, of course, thank you so much. A Comic Relief Crusader, our buddy Mike, and Latino Slant, our dear friend Polly, and then of course E. Clay Thomason. And I like people who have 3-part names. I've always liked that.
Thank you.
I always wanted to have a 3-part name, but just my middle name just like boring. It's just such a boring name, Richard. And also, when I heard my full name, just like my daughter Zoe, I felt like I was in trouble. Somebody said my full name, Gerry Richard Cassell. What did I do? Zoe was the same way. I remember one day I said, Zoe Kirsten Cassell, Mara.
You made her cry.
And she started crying. I'm like, what's the matter, baby? What did I do? And I'm like, nothing. I just wanted to say your name. Okay.
Oh, man, you were played.
No, it freaked her out. She thought she was in trouble. Yes, my middle name is Dick. Well, I've made that joke. I've made that joke many a time, that I am a legitimate Dick. My middle name is Richard, but my full middle name is Richard Patrick. My kids all have 4 names: Sean Patrick Gerry Cassell, Benjamin Brian James Cassell, Zoe Kirsten Moira Cassell. I love giving them the extra name. Makes them feel special. I'm probably moving to the beach next week. Yeah, dude, I'm so sorry, man. You are having a rough year, man. You really are. Merry Christmas. Good night. Take care. Stay strong. This is how we win. Amen to that, Stephen. Amen to that. I am a backdoor Dick. As I've made the joke the other night and cracked Nick up, I said I'm a power bottom. That means I'm lazy and always want the girl on top. Lazy.
Get fucked.
Anima, remember to punch Gerry when you finally meet him for me.
Yeah, 1, I will. 2, I'm tiny, he's a fucking giant, so go figure.
It'll be like
probably be safer not being on the bottom.
It kind of reminds me of that joke about the mouse that the elephant has a splinter in its foot, you know, and the mouse says, "I'll take that out for you." Know the joke, don't you, Keith? Yeah. Mouse says, "I'll take that out for if you let me fuck you." And the elephant's like, "Okay." And so he gets up on a ladder, up to the television, starts pumping away on it, and while it's doing it, the elephant accidentally steps on the splinter and lets out a horrendous, like that. And the mouse goes, "That's right, bitch, take it all."
Oh my god.
All right, so end of the show. If I say my full name, people in the Netherlands will immediately find me. I am the only one left alive with that name. And by the way, I need to find out what's going on with that situation over there with the guy on campus. I don't want to even say the word because YouTube will gank us for even saying the SHOOTER word.
Oh, that is not the Netherlands, though. That was the Czech Republic. That was in Prague.
I didn't say it was. I didn't say it was. What the fuck? That is a presumption that I meant that. I meant Europe. I need to go check out on this news because I don't know where he's from. And I'm curious of where he's from. And I was going to get to that if someone hadn't jumped in there to make a bad guess at what I was trying to say.
I can tell you it's not what you think it is.
I don't think it is. No, he is clearly European. But I want to know what this guy's thing is because he's crazy. Apparently he killed somebody. He killed a father and a child previously as a practice run. It's scary shit. And before we go, I want to thank Das Wolfen for being here, Chernatsky, and Keith for dropping in, dude. Thanks a lot. My girlfriend Anima for being here is awesome. And I want to really comment on just how awesome his new avatar is. I really like this. Look at that.
The fuck?
Look at that new avatar. He looks so heroic.
He
that
looks
guy
like
is going to save your show right there. That guy is.
He looks like he just smoked a bowl.
Yeah, you look a little high. Yeah, you do. Hey, man, what's up, man? Hey, S.A.
S.A., what do you call me, a term paper?
Yeah, I know. I like that whole South Park gag on writing your essay. Remember that? Anybody remember that? Nobody.
With the coffee. There was the coffee one, yeah, about industrialism or whatever.
They had to go to the local hardware store to hire migrant workers to write an essay, and the confusion over the word essay was just hilarious. I love that episode. But anyway, Merry Christmas, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow with Scrooged. We will be talking about that instead of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We'll do that the next weekend with Tom.
That has been the most elusive show in this channel.
Tom's schedule, man. Tom's busy doing shit. He's got family stuff going on with the holidays. I'm not gonna bust his chops over it, man. But Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope everybody has a great Friday. Be safe. Don't forget, you've got Midnight's Edge and Friday Night Tights and Friday Night Frolics with Doomcock tonight. So I hope everybody enjoys those. I don't know how Doomcock does that, dude. I really don't. Singing for hours, like doing karaoke and shit. That's nuts. That gave you a chance to play the audio. That's nuts. Anybody? No. That's the
Steven?
Yeah.
That's a lot of nuts.
Audio? That's a lot of nuts. I thought
that's a lot of nuts.
There you go. But anyway, everybody have a good Friday. Enjoy tonight, and I'll see you again tomorrow. I'll also probably be joining Brandon again, if not this weekend, probably the next weekend for his anime show in the morning. I like jumping on with him, man. I love Brandon. Oh, who just left?
Oh, Chernatsky.
Oh, he must have lost connection, or did he say something?
No,
he didn't say anything. He must have lost connection. All right, guys, we're going to get the hell out of there. Everybody have a good Friday. Please be safe. Have a good holiday weekend, and drink lots and lots of. Oh, there he is. Adam back on. There we go.
Yeah,
drink lots and lots of nog. And this isn't from me. This is from Don Ecker. Drink your goddamn nog. Okay. All right.
I won't.
See
See
ya.
you tomorrow.
Merry. Merry Christmas. Except for Gerry. Miserable
All
Christmas for
right.
you.